Yeah, I
Kind of
feel like
wild. It's just like the last 2 weeks awkwardly they've been like, okay, we'll finally release good music this year, and I'm like, okay, thank you. Like the Miley Cyrus album was my number four for a while. I was like, this is getting sad. But,
two trucks having sex.
cool, cool. The new Sabrina Carpenter next week.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I feel like after my takes on the on her first album, I maybe I shouldn't listen to this one because maybe the stands will order a hit on me.
Well, I low key think this new album's gonna be worse, so
I think this new album might be a bomb, to be honest.
we'll see.
I don't
So
I, I don't like Manchild at all.
it's just Good Luck Babe, but not as good.
Yeah.
It's literally the same chord progression. It's like
Yeah, it's very similar.
Jack Antonoff to
So
like
Sabrina
not
Carpenter's
take
doing
on
plagiarism, I see.
he needs to not take on so many projects because like they all sound the same now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like doing
And
like all of his production it sounds like Wham.
sounds like Wham. Oh my God.
Well, like look, Good Luck Babe and Manchild both sound like Last Christmas. It's the
Sometimes I
same chord
forget
progression.
he's
What?
married to I always forget he's married to Margaret
Margaret
Qualley,
Qualley.
right?
Yeah. Which I get it, maybe because ever since they got married, his music hasn't been as good.
Yeah.
It's because he's happy, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It happened to Smashing Pumpkins. The moment that Billy Corgan became happy, the music started sucking.
But it's funny because his music started getting worse and I feel like her movies started getting better.
Yeah.
Well, you won't be
And that
hearing
last
much more
Bleachers
about
album was not great, which is sad, but
yeah. Well, you won't be hearing any more about Jack Antonoff this episode because this is an Oscars podcast, not a Grammys podcast.
wait,
Uh,
are
I
you recording?
yes. I actually I think he might be nominated for Best Original Song.
I
For
think he might be
what?
nominated for Best Documentary Short Subject.
For Mother Mary, which will have its world premiere at the Telluride Film Festival.
What happened? I'm sorry to think that Mother Mary is not a real movie.
There are people predicting it'll show up at Telluride
Really?
and just play Telluride and AFI.
It, but
Not a good
it's
sign.
just isn't it apparently like it's apparently just like a bomb though, right?
It's like a
Yeah.
mess, yeah,
Yeah.
apparently.
They
A little
just
bit
don't know what to do with
unfortunate,
it, which
but
is interesting.
you know, uh, oh God, this is a great intro. Honestly, it's a great intro that
Yes.
to our uh fucking dumbass podcast. May as well have been AI generated. Um,
Yeah.
but
AI could
hey,
not discuss Jack Antonoff like that.
anyways, Oscars Mafia, George
Yeah.
Ehret, Brett Scott, Tristan French. It's been a
I
while.
changed my name to Walt.
Walt Lippmann.
Yeah, sure.
Um, so look, shit's changed, obviously. We have newish contenders to reckon with.
Yeah. Tristan's pregnant. Sorry.
Um, I'm pregnant, yes. I'm a seahorse.
Oh my God.
Okay. We're already.
I'm so sorry. I'll be back.
Oh, I'm in labor now. Ah.
Uh,
Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. As you can tell, Mercury is in retrograde tonight.
oh man. Okay.
But
Sorry.
but but basically we look, Venice is starting in like less than a week as of when we're recording this, so we gotta get choppy. We gotta get chop. I did not prepare a slideshow this time, unfortunately, because
Do it right
Um,
now.
the, yeah, as we're fucking talking, I'm gonna open up Canva and we're gonna do this. No. Instead, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go, we're gonna look, we're gonna go on awards expert, and not Gold Derby because Gold Derby is complete garbage now. Um, and we're gonna just look at like the odds, the average odds on awards expert, and we're gonna see
Well, I have my
uh
awards expert all updated. I do.
what we're gonna
I
see.
no.
Well, we are. I'm looking at the average, the community average. You know,
Okay.
so.
I'm better than the community, so we can look at my average.
Well, I would like to think I am too, but
Wait, so are we gonna go like, are we doing best picture and we're gonna go like our number one, then our number two, then our number three kind of thing?
yeah, I'm gonna go through the fucking like list. I'm gonna go with like what we think like needs to be talked about, which well, I actually that's probably mostly everything, and yeah, go just kind of go with like all right, let's talk about this movie, let's talk about that movie, blah blah blah. Because I don't know, dude. I don't want to go through the fucking all of our fucking like lists like that because like god damn
That's
it,
true.
it's gonna be like crazy. So. I feel pretty remiss that, well, I don't necessarily regret that I didn't have this in our initial podcast video because like nobody really thought this would be a thing until the reviews drop. But, Sinners has kind of taken this Oscar race by storm. I didn't include it because I was like, well, it looks great, but uh, it, like what reason would I have to believe that's going to be an Oscar play, right? And so that's why I don't really regret not including it, but it is an oversight on my part for obvious reasons. And now, it's almost looking like this could be the Best Picture winner, and I definitely, do have to agree with that. I was skeptical at first, very. Um, but I mean, look, you can't you just can't really look at like where like how much love the movie has gotten and dismiss the idea of it like potentially happening. I will say, I don't quite think it's Oppenheimer. I don't think it's going to be like necessarily going to be a scenario where it just, you know, runs the gambit with it. But look, the potential's there for could win director, could win screenplay. I do think screenplay is a little bit less likely because it is kind of the least appreciated aspect of that film. But um, there's a lot of text that it could in theory win score, song, song. I talk like a fucking New Yorker. Sound, cinematography, uh, editing in theory. And it's just a popular movie. It's just a phenomenon of a movie. And I'm not like I don't think this is like again, I don't think this is like guaranteed to remain the front runner, right? But if I go back to the reason I started to predict Anora to win Best Picture, like 2 days after it won at Cannes, what really put me over the edge for it, and what made me decide, you know what, I'm gonna run with it. It just seemed very likely to me that Anora was going to remain the critical consensus for number one movie of the year and was going to be like remain one of the favorite movies of the year for cinephiles as a whole. And it's something that the public would probably like. Of course, all three of those things ran true. won the most critics groups, had the highest Metacritic score of every Best Picture nominee this year. Um, has very good audience ratings, even despite its subject matter. Uh, it was very well liked across the board. It is, it had a little bit of a bumpy ride with certain precursors, but at the end of the day, when it comes to a preferential ballot and like what has the most passionate support behind it and also a strong consensus behind it, the answer is, I mean, it was clear to me that this was like this was the answer to that. Um, and at least right now, that is Sinners. And for that reason alone, you have to kind of say, yes, Sinners can win Best Picture.
So
I,
here's what I'll say.
okay.
Kind of think that it could be the Oppenheimer Everything Everywhere in this year in the regards of a few reasons. Number one, a big thing that both Oppenheimer and Everything Everywhere had that helped them propel the Best Picture was the fact that they not only reached a critic audience, but they definitely reached a general audience of multiple people who not only said they loved it, but said it was one of their favorite movies ever made. And from the perspective of like where I work, I had multiple coworkers who again aren't like film people, but watch movies, go like, yeah, Sinners is like top five movies I've ever seen. That was the energy of that movie. Like it was strong. Like people are like, I will die on the hill for that movie. Um, we didn't really have a movie like that last year, which is interesting. So I think Sinners comes in and it
We don't
really beat
normally have movies like that, to
that
be
movie.
fair. I
Yeah,
think
but
that
Oppenheimer kind of did that a little bit. Everything
hi,
everywhere did.
yeah, yeah, but that's also a rarity, right?
Yeah.
That like a movie
But
comes
everything
out
everywhere also was very much that for
and
people.
And I
people,
think
It was
okay,
very much like
sure.
that movie.
Parasite did that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
but
much
like
so.
did fucking Nomadland or Coda do that?
No, no,
No.
no,
No,
no.
no, no.
We
But
don't
that's what I'm
usually get
saying.
movies like that, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like when we do get movies like that, they tend to win Best Picture. So
Often the case, yes.
yeah.
I
But
I,
what I'm saying here is also the thing about Sinners that I think kind of makes it the perfect package is like you said, it's immense box office success, which I mean is pretty accurate.
I will now, okay. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm gonna put it this way. Personally, I think box office is kind of an overrated barometer for Best Picture winners.
It well, okay.
I
It's
that's my
about the
opinion.
success of a movie. It's about its narrative. And a movie like Sinners is an original, a completely original movie, a completely like, it's a horror movie based off original idea by Ryan Coogler, the man who brought us Black Panther, and he's able to
Right.
make his bleep
I
that movie.
understand that part.
This is the thing, and this is the thing that took the culture by storm. So what I'm saying in particular is Sinners also has the best reviews for a wide release movie within the last 5 years, and that does include Oppenheimer.
No, 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 no. I
Yes.
think Oppenheimer
That
had better reviews.
I have to call cap on that, to be honest, because
You can look it up. You
Yeah.
can look it up. It had the highest like averages for critics.
it just
There's no way that wait, I'll look it up. I think Oppenheimer is more critically acclaimed than Sinners.
yeah, because like Oppenheimer's got
It's
like a
more of a
90
critics
on
movie.
Metacritic. Sinners is like 84.
Yeah, I also think even though wait, what does Everything Everywhere have? Or does
I
that not
think
count
the
as a wide
same.
release?
I think the same as Sinners.
But I feel like that had like a 4.5 on Letterboxd, and doesn't Sinners have like a 4.2 or 4.1 or something? It's a
I
little
don't
lower.
I don't know. I haven't checked it in a while. I
So Sinners has a 4.1 on Letterboxd, and Oppenheimer has, and I know we can't use this as a barometer, but O Oppenheimer has a 4.2. Okay, that's not that much higher.
Yeah.
But the year of Oppenheimer it had a 4.3 and Everything Everywhere had a 4.5.
I mean, the thing about it, comparing it to audience scores of the past few winners is like Best Picture winners are like they're always like like when once the movie wins Best Picture, a target gets put on its back, and people
Yeah.
are much more like critical. It's like, oh man, I don't know if if it's that good, you know. Like Anora used to be like a 8.1 on IMDb and now it's like a
So
7.5.
the
Or
highest
Everything
rated
Everywhere used
wide,
to be in the top 250 and now it's like a 7.6. You know, so yeah, that like that it just happens. It's gonna happen with Sinners too. But that's not obviously not a negative because well, it hasn't won Best Picture yet, so you can't really use that as an excuse. I'm not trying to.
the highest rated wide release film, Sinners, achieved a 99% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 96 to 97 audience score, making it the best reviewed wide release film of the decade so far, according to various reports from April 2025.
Higher than
I
Oppenheimer?
Yeah,
That doesn't like
well,
on Rotten Tomatoes?
yeah.
okay,
Huh.
okay. So not critics, just audiences. Which okay, yeah. I mean that's a good reason if you're going to use that metric, um, to have
It's
it at
the
number
pack.
one. I think though one thing that does give me some pause about it, and this may not be everything, but it's something that I do kind of wonder about. A lot of the best picture like winners like kind of give you like a certain sense of like whoa to it, right?
Mm.
Um you know, like take like Oppenheimer for example, like when, you know, homie goes to Einstein at the end and is like, "Hey, you remember what happened with the bomb?" And you know, like when we said like uh we might destroy the whole world with this thing, and Einstein was like, "Yeah, of course. What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, I think we already did. I think we already destroyed the whole world." It's a horrible way of explaining the ending of that movie. I apologize. Um, but you get what I'm saying. Like it leaves you with a feeling as if like a weight has been kind of lifted off of your chest, and it just kind of leaves you kind of like that. And I think you could trace it back to every film that has won this decade in various ways is kind of like an emotional feeling of like, whoa. I
Hmm.
can't say the same for Sinners.
Yeah.
And
I vehemently disagree.
no, I really
I vehemently disagree with that. There was people who were walking out of that thing feeling like they were floating.
like okay, the thing about it is if it had ended without the fucking like MCU post-credit scene, which you know, whatever. Uh I love the movie, but I think that it was kind of ridiculous to include that as a post-credit scene. If it had ended like with the shot of God, I forget the character's name, Miles Caton driving down the road, I would agree with you. But with the extra scene attached onto it, that's like a mid-credit scene. I I don't I don't think it's the same thing as like at the end of Oppenheimer. Um, you get I think we did. I think we destroyed the world, and then the montage of the world being blown up, right? Or in Everything Ever All at Once, um, when you have Evelyn saying, "I will always want to be here with you," right? Well, there is a scene that comes after that, so maybe that kind of debunks my whole thing. But like you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
Right.
just disagree with it. People were just as enamored with that ending
I
as
mean,
those.
people I think I don't think it leaves you with like an emotional hook is what I'm trying to as
No,
emotional of a hook
I know what
as
you're
the other
saying. I just
films.
disagree with it. I
Okay.
think it does. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, okay. Just, yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna shut up now. Um that's kind of my big holdup with it.
yeah. That's
Uh
fair.
but otherwise I can get on board with predicting it. Another film that I think you do have to kind of look at as a potential winner is sentimental value. And look, I'll just say I'm glad that I uh, made this call uh, early that it was going to be a number what like a top five in Best Picture. I think I had it like number two, I think. And that's another thing film that like, could it win screenplay? Could it win you know, supporting I think it's like supporting actors probably already done, to be honest with you. I know there's gonna be people who look at it and go, no, 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 no. I'll talk about that later. I think supporting actor is likely just gonna happen, and then from there, obviously it's already winning international. Like that's a good enough case, and then there's a case Renate Reinsve could win, and when you add those up together, like the idea of it winning Best Picture does make sense. It's just the path for winning just seems too similar to Anora for me to be like, yeah, let's go. It just doesn't really feel like that to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think I personally have this on my best picturing list. Well, on my predictions list at like 6 or 7. I do not think it's as high up as other people do. I don't think it's a lock. I think it's very
That's
likely,
crazy.
but
I'm sorry.
It's
the
That's
definitely
crazy.
definitely a lock.
I don't
It's
think so.
happening.
I really don't. I think it will probably get nominated for Best Picture. I really do. I think there's stuff above it because I think it's definitely not winning, even if it gets nominated. Um, because kind of the buzz I've heard out of the movie is most people saying, well, I mean, it's like it's good, but like we don't even know if we put out the same level as Worst Person in the World, which
I
only
think
goes
that's
two
just
down.
me though. I
No,
feel like
that's a common thing I've heard with a lot of people. Uh,
really
yeah,
Depends. Some people say
because
it's like on par. Um,
yeah, I
but
haven't seen anyone say it's like
but
much worse than
yeah,
worst
no.
person.
Well, no, I haven't heard. I've heard, but I've heard a lot of. I haven't heard people say that it's like a significant upgrade. I guess that's what I'm saying. Now, Worst Person has enough momentum from when it came out to now, and has enough of a reputation to where that's going to help his next film.
I mean, look, but clearly,
So
I think the thing about it is that like it just has it just clearly like it obviously like Joachim Trier has goodwill from Worst Person in the World,
yes,
but clearly like
100%.
it has like the people who really love it,
And
who
it is probably going to be Neon's biggest push, and Neon's a big
it
player.
probably it's definitely going to be Neon's biggest push. Are you
So
kidding
what
me?
I'm saying is it'll probably get nominated. I have it at like 6 on my list. Like I
I
don't have
think
it
it's
off, but but I don't see the path for it winning at all when it's like not like I don't even have it projected to win any of the film festival circuits. Like it's just not that movie. Um, like I think last year Anora was like it won the Palm. It got into People's Choice at TIFF. Like it was like this well beloved movie, and the idea was like even if some people preferred Florida Project like myself to that movie, people were just like, yeah, but this thing's electric and this thing's different. This thing is really Sean Baker going all in. And I haven't heard that type of enthusiasm for sentimental value. I've heard most people say
I
that's like a great movie.
I think it's more electric than you're letting on.
Yeah.
but I don't think that it's a lock either. I think there is a but there's
Wait,
it
a lock for nomination? It definitely is.
excuse me, Brett got into my fucking brain. Um oh
I don't.
God. But better Brett getting in my brain than Rogan, but like, whatever. Uh okay. Here's what I will uh put up there. Here's what I'll say. I think the problem the thing with worst person is like we're not worst person with sentimental value. I just think personally also because again, I think like there is literally like no world where this does not win international feature. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um like and it's gonna I think Skarsgård, as I said, is going to win, and I think that's not gonna be all that close. It could win screenplay, and then in theory, Renata could win actress. I'm a little bit skeptical, but it's a possibility. If you add all those up, it just seems like too unlikely that it wouldn't win Best Picture at that point. And I already like I think the fact that it just seems too similar to Anora is a bigger hurdle for me than any of the hurdles I see for Sinners at the moment.
Okay.
I
Um,
think okay, so I can add a bit of information to this because I've seen sentimental value, and I think I talked to a lot of people walking out of that screening who were really buzzing, who were just like absolutely in love with the movie, crying, like tears streaming down their face. So I think that it is a movie that's going to inspire a lot of positive reactions, and a lot of the people that were at that screening, because it was a patron screening. So it's the kind of like older audience that is that would be like in the industry or would be like the Academy voter type. I think that movie's gonna really hit with Academy voters, and I actually think older Academy voters are gonna love it. Because the thing with Worst Person in the World is it has this like real youthful energy and feels very it's just the kind of movie that I think people around our age connect more than to sentimental value, which feels like it's aimed at maybe a later stage in life. Like I think I loved Sentimental Value. I thought it was an amazing movie, but I think it's the kind of thing where I'm going to connect to it more as I get older, than I do right now. And right now, I feel like I connect a lot more to Worst Person in the World because it's dealing exactly with things that um, I'm at that stage of life. Whereas Sentimental Value, I think it's kind of tackling an older stage of life, but it's a really emotional movie, and like Worst Person, I think blends comedy and drama in like a really fun way. And it's like Worst Person gets really heavy as well, but I think Sentimental Value, um, it's not really a comedy at all. Like there's a couple moments here and there, but it's a really heavy movie. Um, so I think the thing with Honora, like I don't know I- like how well like big of a comparison it is because Honora was like this electric, fun, um, mix of comedy and drama. Like it's a big crowd pleaser, whereas Sentimental Values like a really heavy drama. So I think this is one that's going to do really well in screenplay, and be like a top contender there, and could do really well, especially in supporting actor. I could see Stellan walking away with it, but I don't think this is going to get over the hump and win Best Picture. And I don't think Renate really stands a chance at winning actress. I think she's like less front and center in this movie than she was in Worst Person. Like Worst Person, it was really all on her shoulders. Whereas this movie, she has maybe the same amount of screen time as Stellan. And she's kind of our audience surrogate, where I feel like some of the other characters get those big moments, and she doesn't as much. She's like it's a great performance, and there's a lot that she's doing, and she's crying, and there's like a lot of boxes that she ticks, but I don't think she's going to be in the winning conversation. I think she's more in that like fourth slot where she gets the nomination and she's safely in there, but doesn't win. And I feel the same way with the supporting actresses. I think they're both going to get in. Like Elle Fanning feels pretty locked in, and I think Inga is going to get in there too. She has, I think, a pretty meaty role, and there are like quite a few scenes that are like mainly just focused on her. So I do think both of them get in. So it's gonna have a lot of support above the line. I mean, picture, director, screenplay, four acting nominations, casting, editing probably, and then that's it, I would say. Oh, and international. And it'll win international. So it's got a
Obviously.
lot of support. Like it's a top
Obviously.
five contender, I think. And I do think it stands a chance at winning screenplay. Especially if like Sinners wins picture. Because I could see Sinners winning picture director and then screenplay going to something like Sentimental Value or Jay Kelly. Um, but yeah,
Or
yes.
Rental Family.
Yes, which I
We'll talk
guess would
about
be
the
our number three.
I don't I don't know. Do you guys want to transition into that? Because like I think
Sure.
I have some things to
Yeah.
say about that. Yeah, so Rental Family.
Rental. I'll say Rental Family. It's my number two to win picture right now.
Uh and that's valid because here's the thing. I mean, I know that like we've been kind of like talking about this movie a lot in Oscar circles now because it, it just seems poised to win TIFF People's Choice.
Yes.
It seems like it has that sort of locked up.
Also because like Tiff didn't get Jay Kelly or After the Hunt, and it's kind of like, well, okay,
Well,
like what does it really have to compete against this?
the jury's still out on if After the Hunt is yeah, we'll talk about that
Yeah, no, I
later.
understand. But I'm talking about like before it was like missing that. We were like, well, is that gonna, you know what I mean? Like that was kind of a thing that was like, could that be
Not me
placed?
necessarily, but yeah. Um yeah, we'll talk about that. This movie, Rental Family, it just seems so poised to get it now, and the trailer dropped. It looks very sentimental with sentimental value, of course. Pun very much intended. Um, it is it, look, I tend to not like movies that feel really, really saccharine. Um, to me, it just feels very, very like that feel cheap in a kind of like uh Hallmark movie way. That's what Life of Chuck felt like to me. Sorry to all the fans of that film.
Ew.
Um, but this one really doesn't look like that to me. I watched the trailer and I was like, wait, that actually like it looks like the type of sentimentality I would see in a movie that I actually like can appreciate. Um, and I mean, look, like, if you're not putting this as your number one film for Searchlight, then I'm just gonna come out and say it. You're fucking wrong. All right, there's no two ways about it.
What
You're
about what if like the Bradley Cooper movie Is this thing on just comes
We
out
can
of
talk about
nowhere?
that later, but I think no.
I think it's not
Um,
impossible, but it's not going to be Rental Family. I think it'd be their second or
I agree,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I think what George's saying is right. A rental family is almost built to win people's choice at TIFF. Like
Yeah, and
if it doesn't win people's choice at TIFF, we put on the red alarm. Like
I
it's a red
agree.
alarm. Yeah.
Because it's probably going to go to a world premiere.
Mhm.
And I mean, the Knives Out movies I don't think I've ever placed. So,
Glass Onion did, but the first one didn't.
oh, it placed? Did it come in
Yeah,
third?
it was third behind Fablemans and Women Talking.
Women talk. Oh,
Well,
I forgot about that.
that's
That's,
still it's like Glass Onion's not very good.
yeah, I
I
agree.
rewatched it. We rewatched it like a few days ago, and I was like, "This holds up really badly." I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like it when I saw it. It just doesn't have that same energy as the first one.
Oh, the first one's amazing. I rewatched
Yeah.
that one too, and it's like so good. It's like it ages like fine wine, and then Glass Onion ages like milk. Like it's the
Yeah,
exact opposite thing. Like,
I
it's like
agree.
yeah. But for me, I think Rental Family like it has the Brendan Fraser's a part of the club now, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
he looks like he's really giving an Oscar performance in that movie. So I think he's just in. Like I think that's a pretty easy get. I think you have a really interesting, diverse cast that you could nominate in certain like supportings and stuff as well. Um, and there's a casting nomination this year, and I think that would also work really well with that movie as well. Um, and then it
Mm-hmm.
seems like a solid screenplay. Um, for me, what I'm looking for as a movie that could potentially beat the narrative that Sinners has, which is going to be a very, very hard battle to do, is a movie that just sweeps award circuits. And when we're looking at the lineup of movies and where they're going to and where they're positioned at, this has the best shot of doing that, in my opinion.
If we're looking at this from the perspective of like passion and consensus, Sinners and Sentimental Value are obviously the top two. And to be honest, I think they're kind of close in that regard. At least at this current moment, August 23rd, 2025, 11:55 p.m. It's almost going to be August 24th. So, consider those two dates as you want. Uh,
It's so close to TIFF. That's so crazy. Anyways, sorry.
When does
Rental Family
Venice?
seems to me like the most likely one that could beat that. Um, the thing about it that worries me a little bit is it's not it like I don't really like see this as a directing contender. Um,
No, not at all. It's
I
a coda.
it could win an actor. I don't think Frasier will. I think there's an opening maybe for Mari Yamamoto in supporting actress.
Yes.
And I actually do have her taking that right now because I really don't know who the fuck is gonna win supporting actress.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be
I
Emily
have her
Blunt.
in here.
Uh,
Um,
Emily Blunt. Is that what you said?
Yeah, the
For the
Smashing
Smashing Machine?
Machine.
we'll
Yeah,
talk.
I have her at number one.
Well, let's get
Wait,
into that later.
wait, really?
Um, let's get
Yeah.
into that later. Um,
Wait,
I'm
what? Wait, I thought you were joking at first.
no, I put her at number one.
Okay, I'm so confused. Anyways, we can get back. Sorry.
yeah, we'll talk about Smashing Machine later. Rock. Um, yeah, Rental Family, I think could it has that potential and it's gonna win the People's Choice, obviously. More than likely. Uh, yeah. Uh, and I guess if you want to really count this as a barometer, I kind of don't. I think it's kind of a silly one, but it is worth noting that like a lot of people have discovered that a lot of the films Jake Alda Coffee, uh, Alan Alda's Nepo grandbaby, saw it at a test screening and put it at number one on his
Yeah,
ranked list, and a lot of the films that he Oscar bait films that he saw at a test screening that he rated highly were, Oscar contenders. So if that's something you want to consider, then there you
He
go.
he, he also really loved Hamnet.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
We'll talk about Hamnet later.
That one's rising right now though, for sure.
Yeah,
We'll talk
definitely.
about yeah, we'll have to talk we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Yeah, yeah. It just makes sense to me. Rental Family does. Um
Mhm.
and I think I have it at third because the thing is, in theory, I should have it winning picture because I also have it winning screenplay. And then I have it
Yeah.
winning supporting actress, and it's like, oh, okay, well, there you go. Um, but I'll ride with it for now. I'll ride with it for now. We'll see how it goes. But boom. Uh, let's talk about Marty Supreme
Yeah.
because this is the one
I
I
gotta
came out. I came up
Taco
with
Bell
earlier
Supreme.
saying like, this is my bet on Best Picture right now is Marty Supreme. We know I think I don't know how that's gonna go because right now it doesn't look like it's gonna be doing festivals. Although the rumor is surprise screening at New York Film Festival.
Interesting.
That would be a mistake. I think this is a movie.
I don't know. I think that works. I think that could work.
I think that
Ever
would build up hype.
from the beginning, I was thinking this should skip festivals because
Why?
I because I think A24 are gonna get two Best Picture nominations this year for both The Smashing Machine and Marty Supreme.
Oh
And
boy.
and I think they need to separate them. And I think A24 also want to establish themselves as like a major studio that make art films on a big scale. And I think Marty Supreme, if they wait and make it like a big Christmas time premiere where like everyone goes to the theater and it's this big event, then I think A24 is really gonna start to climb and start to establish
Okay.
themselves as
But
like a big studio in the way that I think they want to.
here's the thing about that though. Here's the thing about that though. Josh Safdie is kind of unproven as a box office director. And so
You're right.
they have, and, this is like the first time Timothy Chalamet is doing like what is technically an original thing. I know that it's like a fictionalized version of a real person, but for all intents and purposes, it's a fictional story. And this is like the first time that's not a box office IP like Dune, or he's playing a real person like Bob Dylan. This is like his first like big test. And so they kind of want to make sure, well, let's just get the hype out there so that people like get people buzzing about it so that they know, right? The thing about it is like think about it, it's similar to what Sony did, in my opinion, with Little Women. Now, they did not take it to New York, obviously, but they started screening it to SAG voters in October. And
Yeah.
a lot of the people got out like, guys, this is the real deal. Greta Gerwig. Greta
Wait, did
Gerwig
they?
hit another home run.
I thought it
And
was like late. I thought we started hearing reviews in like December.
they were screening it for fucking like SAG voters in October. I remember.
Yeah, I also do. I disagree with the idea that they should just release it on Christmas and if they put it in festivals, it would make it less of a Christmas smash. I don't get the because it's like, well, Frankenstein is going to be like a huge
Yeah,
Christmas
but also
experience.
think about with Little Women, and that's based on an iconic novel. To be fair,
Yeah.
they
Oh,
got the
I'll be
hype.
back, guys. My parents are home. I'm just gonna give the dogs to them because they're in my room.
Okay.
Okay, but the thing is like they got the hype going early for it, right?
Yeah.
Because like yeah, it's based on an IP, but like the only like household name in that cast. I mean, well, Meryl Streep, but like the only other household name in that cast was playing the one of the four main characters was Emma Watson. And so like they got the hype going early and it made a lot of money on
Yeah.
Christmas still. I
Yeah, I think
think
one of the biggest things about Marty Supreme is going to be it's going to test really how much of a movie star Timothy Chalamet actually is. Um, because
yeah.
if he can purely alone sell that movie, all of a sudden he becomes like one of the biggest stars in the world, right? Like, and I mean, he's pretty much already there, but like it's definitely a test of his ability to get people into theaters, and
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how that goes. I also do think, and I have him for number one for actor right now. I think if that movie goes over really well, he's going to be a threat in that category, a big threat to
Oh,
win.
yeah. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
is that is 100% like a superstar making performance. It's like a Leonardo DiCaprio type of move, or like a the Brad Pitt type of move, like when they were
Yeah.
starting to finally really rise. Like, yeah,
And I'll also point out too, I think one reason that they could take it to that they might be taking it to New York, and that's the rumor right now. It's heavily rumored, not confirmed, but heavily rumored. Um, that I think the reasoning could be that A24 saw what happened with the Iron Claw, where it made decent money, but it didn't get much
yeah,
awards traction, and they just premiered it without festivals, and they're like, okay, if we want this to be our awards contender for this year, let's put it in NIF at a surprise screening, get the buzz going from there, and you know, come Golden Globes time, hey, look, bunch of Golden Globe nominations. We're on track for Oscars, you know.
yeah,
They might also see what happened with Babylon and how that kind of crashed and burned, and they think, okay, well, we want to make sure that again we get the buzz rolling out from festivals earlier and uh see what's going there. And I think that might be why they're putting it in New York screening. It would not be the first time a New York surprise screening to would go over well for for them because they did this with Lincoln, the Steven
yeah,
Spielberg movie. Now that probably was going to, get a decent amount of money anyway because of Spielberg's name and the, recognizableness of, Abraham Lincoln. But putting it in New York as a surprise screening was a good move because it got them a lot of attention, a lot more buzz, and a little bit more legitimacy in that respect as well.
yeah,
So I think it's a good move, honestly. I think if they do that, it could really work. And I think also like I think like the idea that like oh the Safdies they don't really make Oscar bait. Who won Best Picture last year? Okay.
yeah.
Who won four goddamn Oscars last year?
And
Oh, right.
also,
It's the director of Tangerine.
it is the idea. Whenever people saw Nora, they're like, "Oh, it's kind of Safdie coded." Like that was a big thing people said about that movie.
Yeah.
It was a huge thing. Coming out of TIFF, people are like, "Oh, it's kind of like Sean Baker made a Safdie Bros movie," and that's gave it the momentum to win Best Picture. So yeah, I think the idea that the Safdies don't make Oscar movies is also very silly. They haven't made a movie that's going to appeal to the Academy yet. Marty Supreme is on paper an Oscar movie. Like it is. It's kind of like I mean, to me, the trailer feels like a little bit of like a grittier Forrest Gump, which I know maybe that sounds silly, but do you know what I mean by that? Like it's
Yeah.
sprawling, a
And,
big
and
like
thus a better
adventure.
film.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Like I mean, I love Forrest Gump, but I think it could be like I have no issue with you saying that. Like, but
Yeah.
like it's just like bombastic, like epic, like sprawling this person's life and seeing them in all the stages of their life movie. It's not like watching Adam Sandler scream about basketball for 2 hours, you know? Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
always going to be a hard
It's not
sell no
actively
matter
giving you a
what.
headache, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I this one's high up for me as well. I have it at three right now on my list. It's just right
I think I have
behind.
it at yeah, three or four.
Yeah,
I think there is a world where it could still win Best Picture,
yeah,
honestly.
totally, totally.
I like if Josh Safdie is racking up director prizes, I'm gonna go, yeah. And
Hmm.
of course, Timmy, I mean, Best Actor is gonna be a little tight.
Wait, are you guys
It's
still
not.
talking about Marty Supreme?
Yeah,
Yes.
What the heck? I was gone for like 10 minutes.
No, you weren't.
Wait, was I
Well,
it
not?
it was like maybe five, maybe.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah,
like 15 or like something.
bro. Okay. Well, anyways, now Brett and I were just like I was just explaining to Brett why I think surprise screening at NIF would be a good thing because A24 probably saw what happened with the Iron Claw and they're like, okay, maybe we should screen it a little bit earlier. Like, I think it's a good move, honestly. I think this movie, like you look at the fucking trailer, like you've got Kevin O'Leary in this, you've got Abel Ferreira, you've got Tyler the Creator. It's crazy.
Abel
Like
Ferreira, aka The Weeknd, as IndieWire said.
that. God, oh my God.
Guys,
Yeah,
I'm getting calls. I need to leave now.
yeah. It's crazy. All of course, Gwyneth Paltrow is in it. This could be like her second nomination. She
Is
could be really great, of course.
is Hurry Up
Uh,
Tomorrow going to get nominated for Best Picture?
it- okay. Uh,
Sorry.
Also, a lot of people pointing out rising star. I'm gonna get her name wrong. Odessa Azayan, who I believe is Pamela Adlin's daughter.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, so there's another Mikey connection because better things, and a King of the Hill connection too. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be a great fucking movie. It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I think Timmy could be like on his way to finally getting that coveted Oscar for best
Yeah.
actor. I think it's gonna be a little bit tight, and I think his biggest competitor is probably gonna be George Clooney for Gay Kelly. Now, Gay Kelly
What?
So funny.
i- is poised to be Netflix's number one film. It's at Venice, New York, and Telluride.
It should be at TIFF. How dare they? How dare they do this to
Um,
us?
the trailer for this, I love it. Okay, I think it's great. Nicholas Bertel's score, like it is absolutely criminal that this man has not won an Oscar yet. I
That's
swear.
crazy to think about.
Maybe
What the
this year,
heck?
man. Maybe this year.
God.
Actually, it might. I don't know. I kind of think Goranson's gonna win his third.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Um,
I think Goranson's gonna end up after this year. There's gonna be a narrative like he's the greatest composer, like since like he's in the conversation with like Zimmer and Williams.
Bertel should be in there, but
But
I think.
Bertel, I feel like hasn't done as much yet. He'll be in there. Bertel's going to, but
But
I
Yeah,
feel
because
like
I'd
his
argue that
music
the
in the
Beatles
trailer
debate.
it's incredible.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
yeah.
I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it. Um, Clooney looks really good in it, and there is a case to make that, hey, if Clooney is really good, it is kind of weird that he never won an Oscar for lead acting. He has one for supporting. He has one for Best Picture, but not for lead actor. And it does seem a little bit odd that that's the case. I don't necessarily think that is the end all be all, but it you never know. You never know. Honestly, you never know. It could take off for him. I think there's potential to win screenplay here for Noah Baumbach and Emily Mortimer. Um, which that's an interesting combination. And then there is some buzz for Adam Sandler as well that he could be nominated, and some people think could potentially win. Personally, I find it a little bit difficult to see the win because I still think there's just a lot of people who don't take him seriously enough to view him as an Oscar-winning actor. And I think like especially in the face of Stellan Skarsgård, who I think is taken that seriously. and is like is more respected as a performer who has the juice to win. Like I think I just don't see it when in the face of that personally.
I have
Now
Sandler winning right now.
now of course if I'm wrong about that I'll come out and I'll print apology forms to all the Sandler truthers, but um
And
I
then you'll
think
yeah
watch Tucker Carlson on
uh
a live
I
stream.
I think Sandler could win, having seen Sentimental Value. I think Stellan, a lot of the buzz for that performance. I mean, it's an incredible performance. He's amazing in it. Um, but it's very subtle, and that's a complex character. That's not a character that you're
okay,
always rooting
I
for.
mean supporting that can happen.
No, it's true. But I think Chandler's character is going to be like really lovable, and I think is it's going to be a very outwardly emotional performance, whereas for Stellan, that character is emotionally repressed. So it is more subtle,
I
and he doesn't get as many moments to really explode in the way that
yeah,
Sandler might.
but again, like I just I just don't think people see Sandler in that way is what I'm getting at. And I think that could
Not
hurt him.
yet.
That's my
Not,
feeling. Now maybe I'm wrong. Again, if I'm wrong, I'll print out apology forms for all the Sandler truthers. But I that's just how I see it. Um but I do think this has a lot of potential. I think Bomback honestly is on track to get a director nomination. I think I think that's
Interesting.
happening.
yeah,
Um
I'm about there with you.
I think um it's not because he didn't get one for Marriage Story, but like it's just because this one seems bigger and bigger in scope and in scale and like it has the potential there. And it kind of looks like an old movie. Like did you like I don't know if you guys noticed that in the trailer. It looks like an old movie. And I think that is something that could really appeal to the branch there. It's almost his 8.5. So yeah, I think he's in. I think well, he's not in yet, but I think he's happening. Um, and it is also something that maybe could win. I think it's winning the Golden Lion in
Yeah, I
part
have it
based
winning too.
on Alexander Payne being the head of the jury. Just kind of seems like an Alexander Payne core film.
But is
Mm.
that too easy? Do you
Um,
think like maybe
well,
he'll go
I
with
think awards expert has no other choice, which
yeah.
that would make me excited.
I
But
think no, I think Park's gonna win director for no other
I
choice.
agree. I think that's his prize. Um, but yeah, man, you never know. I mean, this movie really could be like, yeah, it could be one of those two. I think with Jay Kelly, it's probably going to be Netflix's number one. I'm still a big Frankenstein truther, but I think Jay Kelly is probably like number one ahead of Frankenstein. And we can talk
Mm.
about Frankenstein a little bit here too, because Frankenstein, listen, I'm getting ready to do a victory lap, all right? I'm getting ready to do a motherfucking victory lap because a lot of people are down on it, but it's the number one most hearted movie on Tiffer.
100%. Which I mean,
Yeah.
And
how far off?
that's a precursor for placing at TIFF. That was, Honora was number one on Tiffer. Boy and the Heron was number one on Tiffer. Glass Onion was number one on Tiffer. All three of them placed at number three specifically. So, um,
Yeah, Frankenstein's placing for
yeah.
sure.
Now I
Yeah,
know
I
Honora is the only one that actually got a Best Picture nomination of those three that films that I named. But look, Frankenstein is much more picture adjacent than Boy and the Heron or Glass Onion. It's gonna get tech nominations. Like it's probably gonna win. It's winning
Oh,
make. It's
wait.
winning. It's winning makeup.
So, I'm checking the leaderboard for TIFF, and Glass Onion was number one, which is
Yeah, I said
interesting.
Glass Onion dipshit.
Oh, you did?
yeah, he did. He said Glass
Oh,
Onion, Boy and the
I,
Heron, and then
I would
Nora.
have thought Fablemans. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
2024. Oh wow, Night Bitch was number two next to Enora. That's crazy. And then
The downfall that movie had was insane.
Bro,
I
the minute the
remember,
trailer
2021 was
dropped, everybody
Dune.
was like, "No."
remember when we had Amy Adams winning for a while?
Yeah.
Um, uh, not me, not me.
Wow, interest 2019 was Jojo Rabbit over Knives Out and Joker by a landslide.
Interesting. Yeah, people. It was
Yeah,
number one.
see,
People had
I just,
too.
I feel like it's placing. It's
Yeah,
gonna get tech nominations. People are gonna really like it. I think people are gonna really like it. I think it's in Venice competition for a reason. It's in
yeah.
Venice competition for a reason.
That that thing's getting nominated for visual effects, production design, sound, hair,
It's
and
gonna win production design. I'm telling
like
you right now, it's gonna
it,
win that category.
it's gonna be hard between that and Avatar, but I think it can take over Avatar at this
No,
point.
no, I think it's beating
Wicked.
Avatar.
Wicked could too.
No, no, no. I think it's
I
Frankenstein.
don't.
I really think it's Frankenstein.
That's
Yeah,
my number one right now, but I think
yeah.
it's a bit of a race.
But because I was at first like Frankenstein is my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. It's been probably my second most anticipated for the whole year. Like I just like I need it. I'm probably gonna see it like three times at TIFF. I'm not gonna, but but I have kind of been in the position for a while of like it's like a universal monster movie, and I don't think the Academy's gonna go for it until I really started to think about it, and I was like, I know Del Toro's like one of the most respected directors in Hollywood, like that hasn't changed, but I went, this thing's gonna get nominated for so many below the line nominations. Del Toro has definitely pitched it as more of a straight adaptation of the Mary Shelley book, which
Yeah,
means it's going to feel more like Little Women than like a horror movie in a lot of regards. And in that regard as well, I think people will see it more of a prestige picture than just a monster movie as well, which will help it kind of appeal to a more highbrow audience as well. Um, and so then you go, well, he could get a director. I think that could happen. Well, it could get into screenplay. I think that could happen. And at a certain point, it's like if it's getting nominated for like 8 Oscars, it's gonna get nominated for picture. Like, like why would it not? You know, like it would just be silly to bet against that.
I'm
Um,
about to. I'm about to get very vindicated. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get very vindicated. I
I also
really,
do,
yeah.
I also do believe that Oscar Isaac could get nominated as well. I think there's a path for him. Like,
I think it kind of depends.
yeah,
But I'm not gonna say it's impossible because I really do think this is winning makeup. I think that is happening.
yeah.
Um,
And you know what happens with
and
actors?
makeup winners
You know
since
what
Suicide
happens
Squad
with
have all
actors who
been
win for
nominated for
makeup?
acting.
Yeah,
I do think that's a bit of a coincidence.
yeah.
Because people said that about, winning actors and, last year. But uh
But nominated,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. She got
Yeah,
nominated still. So
exactly.
uh look, point is Frankenstein's winning makeup. It's winning production design. I still think it's winning cinematography. I watched that trailer and I go, how does this not win?
Yeah, yeah.
How does this not win?
It's
Um
just, it's gonna be that versus Avatar for a lot of those categories. But
and
at a certain point, it's gonna be. I think at a certain point, it's gonna be boring to continue to vote for Avatar every time they release a movie because it's like, of course, it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I do kind of like. I've thought about this. I feel sorry for the visual effects departments. Every year, there's an Avatar or a Dune movie. They're just like, all right, cool. I guess we're glad we're nominated.
except for Godzilla.
Yeah,
Though
it's
they
a,
if Dune gets delayed again next year, then maybe they'll have a break and we'll get Project Hail Mary. But I don't know. We'll see.
yeah.
Um yeah, I've been a Frankenstein truther since day one. I really and
Same.
I don't see a reason to jump off of it. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
understand why people don't have this in. This is
I mean,
clearly,
even the Oscar experts have it at like 17. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
They
it
had it
makes
at
no
13 in the
sense.
video they put out today, but like
That's
I
Too
still way
low.
too
people are like they're dismissive of it for like not no good reason. It's like they think of Pinocchio as being like, oh, why would they nominate a Pinocchio movie? It's from Del Toro. And it's like Pinocchio was a fucking animated movie, guys. They're like this is not the same
The
thing.
the thing
Yeah.
with Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, is that's considered high literature. Like that is like very
Yeah,
well
exactly.
respected. It's taught in English classes. It's like it's not just a horror thing, like it is a really important book, and this is going to be an artful adaptation of that book, and
Brought,
it's going to be more of a gothic thing than
yeah,
just a horror movie.
brought by the man who has lovingly built up this genre of film for the last 25 years.
Yeah,
You know,
Exactly.
like,
that the Academy
uh,
love.
yeah, he won Best Picture with a monster movie. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I yeah, man. I really think this is happening and I'm preparing for my victory lap. Um of
yeah, the three
course.
of us have been on this since the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, beyond that, I think well, I think everyone is pretty much so convinced on Wicked getting back in.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more to say about it. I still am holding very firm that I don't think it's a top five movie. I don't think it's going to come
I
anywhere close to winning
think
Best Picture.
I
Um,
disagree.
just like last year, it will stay in its lane, winning costumes, maybe song. Uh, I think it's going to get fewer nominations,
I
potentially fewer wins. Yeah.
Disagree.
disagree. I
I think
disagree.
Wicked
Yeah.
might win, actually.
Yeah, I think it's like for me right now, I think I have it at 4. I think it is one of the few movies that could build the narrative the fight centers for sure. Now
I think
now it would have to be better than Wicked One. It would have to be better in order.
I think it's going to be
Significantly. Yeah.
similarly
And
acclaimed.
I it could be similarly acclaimed. If that's the case, then I'm like, okay, cool, glad that you're nominated, right? If it's better than Wicked One, because here's the thing about Wicked Two. That musical, the for good sequence, all of that, it gets people crying. In the original Broadway play, people walk out of that theater and they're sobbing by the end of Wicked. That is kind of the thing that it's known for. And so if you licked that type of emotional response from that movie, and it's known to be kind of the victory lap of that entire exercise of film, it starts to build a narrative to win the entire thing. But that is playing a lot of 3D chess for a movie we have not seen yet. It
I
could
just
come out and
don't
people are just
think the
like,
Academy is ever going to go for a film that is as poppy like clearly aimed at appealing the masses like Wicked. I understand that Sinners is a blockbuster. Sinners is not made with the intention that we need to appeal to all the masses. We need to get asses in seats. It is made because Ryan Coogler has something, he has a story he wants to tell, and he wants to just put it out for people to see. He doesn't really care if if the public is obsessed with it or not. It just happened to play out that way. That's also the thing with Oppenheimer. Nolan is not making that movie to get the masses to love it. They just did.
Because it was
I
that good.
Wicked is trying to get people to love it. And I think those movies just don't win Best Picture. Like I just think they're
except for
not
like
they're
Chicago,
seen
Lord of the Rings.
like
I mean,
they're
they
clearly
did pretty
populist
good on that.
blockbusters, and yeah, they like them enough to nominate them, but I don't think that it's ever going to win. I mean, people talked about it fucking last year. It made a whole bunch of money. It was probably the highest grossing movie in the lineup. And it was like,
But
oh my
think
God,
about it
people
this
are
way.
crying and crying and crying. And then it didn't even make a fucking dent in the fucking winning race. It blanked at SAG
Uh,
and yeah.
no, I think it was a pretty huge contender.
Not
But
for
I
the
think
win though.
no, but I think it was like 4 or 5, probably 5. Um,
I'll say it like again. If this movie has the narrative of I cried at the end, they really did nail the entire thing, and then ends up being like this billion
The
dollar
first
hit.
movie had that narrative though. Like I like if it
It's
didn't work for the first one,
different.
why would it work for part two? I really
It's
don't.
this
different.
is
It's
different.
so different.
I don't
Because
know. I don't think
this is the
so.
conclusion of the whole thing. In that
It
regard,
also
it's kind of like a Return of the King thing.
it
Return
also
of the
looks
King was one
better.
of the greatest movies ever made. That people said that like as it fucking came out. That's not the same thing.
It's not
No,
even the
but
best Lord of the Rings movie, let's be honest.
I'm
well,
telling you what
I
people
would agree.
think,
But
Tristan. I'm not telling you my opinion or whatever. Blah blah blah.
yeah, but I'm saying like in the regard of this, I'm saying if there is enough of a narrative of this movie being the movie of the year for people, like
There
it
won't be.
could go far. Because the first movie was always it was always a part one, you know? Like, but this is the emotional satisfaction and conclusion to the whole thing that already got nominated. It's kind of it's very much like the Avengers Endgame of like this musical thing, but it's obviously something that like people Academy voters already care about more than that, obviously. I just
Whatever.
I don't I think again, it's a lot of playing 3D chess because like it could just come out and it's another really great Wicked movie and it gets nominated and then it's just over. Like I can see that happening. I'm saying I could also see it happening where it gets real close and we like see it sprawl out in real time as people declare it as this like transformative thing. Um,
And I really don't see that happening. I just
yeah.
yeah. Uh anyway, after Wicked, Springsteen delivered me from nowhere. Um First of all, don't fucking add the person's name to the front of the title and then put a colon after it and then put a lyric from one of his songs. That
Yeah,
fucking dumbass move, brother.
that's a
Dumbass fucking
dumb
move.
that's a dumb title. I agree.
I agree.
Just like
I'm
fucking
not sh
Whitney Houston, I want to dance with somebody. Just don't do it.
I'm not sure how good
Bob
that movie's gonna
Dylan,
be.
like a Rolling Stone.
God damn it. Um, well, look, it's the spotlight selection at New York. It's the opening selection of AFI, and it's going to Telluride, and it's going to make
And
money. It's about Bruce Springsteen. Like
Jeremy Allen White is locked for a nomination.
he's getting in. There's maybe a
I
case
don't
he
th
could win. I don't know
No,
without it.
I don't think he's locked. I think like
Man, if the movie is locked for a Best Picture nomination, he's locked for a Best Actor
I
nomination.
I would agree.
I don't.
If it
I think even the movie misses. He's in for actor.
I
I
think
think
it's
he's
very
true.
possible,
Yeah.
but I there could be I don't know that like Scott Cooper, is he necessarily the greatest filmmaker? I don't know. Like he's not.
Well, you don't need a fucking Brady Corbet like direct or Sean Baker director to get a movie like this nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
Okay?
literally,
but
Bryan Singer did it.
Fucking Bryan
true.
Singer got
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody nominated, okay? Like
Yeah,
let's
you're right. And I would say Scott
This
Cooper
type
is
of
much
movie
better
is
than him.
just so Oscar putty at this point. There'd be no reason to vote against it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really is just kind of a silly game, right? Like they
It's
nominate a
like
biopic every year. And Marty Supreme technically
literally
is
looks like
one,
the
but
movie literally looks like the definition of a 7 out of 10, and it's still gonna get like 8 nominations.
yeah, Jeremy Allen White is happening. Jeremy Strong could happen.
I kind of
Um,
think it's gonna be Stephen Graham. I really do.
or it could be Stephen Graham. Well, sound nomination, you know, heck, editing, you got to consider at that point. And at this point, like adapted screenplay is looking so fucking thin, you may as well consider it for that. Um, I just don't see a reason to doubt it. I really don't.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. how it turns out, I guess. I will say I did not much care for the book that this movie is based on, so we'll see. Uh, but if you want to hear Jeremy Allen White perform "Born to Run" in the movie theater, this is your opportunity. Uh, After that, this is where things get complicated. What do you guys want to do first? You want to talk about the focus features of movies, or you want to go talk you want to talk some Paul Thomas Anderson here?
Uh, why don't we do focus?
Okay. So, focus. Okay. Let me just say, this is not officially happening yet. Um, but just know I'm probably gonna have to end up printing apology forms. Um, come next week. Because first video that we put out here, I was telling them like, look, I think Bugonia is the one for this for them. I think there is a very easy case for it. Lanthimos is not writing the script. It doesn't seem like it would be a kinds of kindness or a The Lobster necessarily. It looks like a fun movie. And the trailer came out early and it was scheduled for October and I was like, okay, that gave me the signs that like, okay, Focus is positioning this as their contender. And there was a rumor also that Focus was very excited about Bugonia and not so much about Hamnet. And so, that kind of validated my priors, as it were. Then what happens is the movie ends up missing from New York's main slate. And at first I go, uh-oh, like that it's an orange flag, but it didn't like totally worry me because I was like, oh, okay, well maybe it'll be the Spotlight Gala. Then it wasn't the Spotlight Gala. Then it wasn't in the Spotlight section at all, and then it wasn't at Toronto. Now, the favorite and poor things both skipped Toronto, to be fair. Um, but there is no reason that this should not be at New York. Now, whether or not it was rejected from New York, I don't know. I'm not claiming that it was. It just seems too fucking odd that it wouldn't be there. And I don't really buy the reasoning that Focus is trying to spread out their contenders and say, we're gonna put Bugonia in Venice and Telluride, and then Hamnet in Telluride and TIFF, and then Anemone in New York. Because number one, in theory, Bugonia and Hamnet are going to overlap at Telluride. But number two, Yorgos has like normally a great relationship with New York. Even his fucking short film played in New York. And the only reason Kinds of Kindness didn't is because it came out in the summer. So it's like, why are we, what is going on here? Like, it makes me think that something else is going on. And it seems like that seems to be the case. Everybody's kind of seeing like, oh, okay, maybe there's something else going on. And Hamnet now, which first of all, I need to make an apology because I said uh, I felt like the fact that it was not a Shakespeare biopic, people would go into it expecting that, and they would come out of it underwhelmed by it, and that would affect their views on the film and make it more negative. Well, what I did not think about was if that was going to happen with the movie, it probably would have happened with the book, and it did not. So I was a dumbass and I spewed dumbass bullshit to my audience, so I'm sorry. I'm legitimately apologizing. I'm sorry. I told you guys bullshit. You know, whatever. Uh, and the images came out, and it kind of starts to feel like now that this is actually going to be the film for it. Buzz is kind of building up for it. Maybe we really should have like considered that, Chloe Zhao is going to do something with this material. And, I read the book. I think the book is very good, and the author of the book is writing the screenplay with Chloe Zhao. And maybe they're just like this is just Maestro, where we hear, oh, test screening no bueno, and go, okay, movie no bueno. But it actually is better than we're letting on. And so, look, basically at this point, I'm kind of thinking if we hear about a movie's early screenings and we hear they're not very good, but we continue to predict them anyway, i.e., Empire of Light or Blitz, take them out, take it out, take it out. But if, you hear negative test screenings about a movie that makes you go, okay, take it out, and it's Oscar bait, put it in, keep it in. Still keep it in because
I
it's bullshit.
I actually don't think that those rumors about the test screenings are accurate. Because, you know, from what I've heard from people who've talked to Jake and stuff like that, is that everyone at the test screening loved it. So I don't know. I'm not sure how much I buy that. And I also think that there's a lot more hype for this movie than we even like initially thought. Like, isn't it like number three or like it's really high up on there on Tiffer right now?
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
people
yeah,
really are
that's another
excited
thing
about it.
too, is that like it really,
Also, we talked
yeah.
about adapted screenplay. This thing could win adapted screenplay.
We're gonna get
Uh
we'll talk about
What
that.
else? What else
I
is it
have
competing against?
I have Jesse Buckley winning. I have her at number one.
That's the thing. Best
Interesting.
actress is
Interesting.
if you don't think Renata is going to win Best Actress, then you can pick Jessie Buckley, you can pick Cynthia Erivo, you can pick Amanda Seyfried,
Yeah, I think Cypher is mine still.
and Buckley, like I don't know, it just seems like this could be a bit of a powerhouse performance. And look, I was very, very stingent on Begonia for a long time, and I know you guys, all three of you, Jared, and who isn't here, Tristan, Jared, and Brett.
And
Um,
Lester.
Lester wasn't on that show, but he was like, yeah, he was part of the contingent that Begonia is not happening. Like all were like, no, it's not happening. I was like, no, 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 it's gonna happen. Well, I think I'm gonna have to print apology forms to you guys. Um, after this, and you might tell me, "Oh, you don't need to apologize. You don't need to apologize." Guys, I was cocky about it. So yeah, I kind of do need to apologize, number one, but also I did force Tristan to apologize to me for arguing that Brady Corbet was going to win Best Director. So yeah, um, yeah, I got to be consistent, man. I gotta be consistent, and I'm too passionate about this shit. I'm too fucking passionate about this
That's
shit.
the fun
So
of it.
next week, get ready for those apology forms, guys. Just saying.
That's the fun of it.
Oh,
But
what if Oh, sorry, Brett.
that's the fun of it though. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Get
What
ready for the
if
apology forms.
I I'm a little confused about one thing. Why do are we all convinced that Focus can only get one film in? Because
I'm
I'm pretty
not
sure they're
saying that they can't, okay?
yeah.
What I'm saying here is this is specifically about these two movies. Begonia, it might not be a bad movie. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I don't think it's getting in the red on Metacritic. That's crazy. It could be a little bit more like The Lobster or Killing of a Sacred Deer, where
I agree.
it's acclaimed, people like it, but it's not Oscar good. And,
It
I
could.
thought that, maybe like, oh, Yorgos isn't writing it, that's automatically in. Maybe it is Tony McNamara and only Tony McNamara that can make Yorgos
I
Oscar player.
I think it is, to be honest. But also, Will Tracy is a pretty accessible writer. Like the menu that wasn't,
That was
you
part of
know,
my argument for why Begonia could happen, but A lot of people
Yeah,
don't
but the
like the
menu
menu.
sucks.
So
Yeah, but the people who don't like the menu are actually more so like people in the film community who are more highbrow, not audiences.
It's people
Audiences
who
like the
are
menu.
smart and know what good screenwriting. I'm sorry. I'm I freak.
I've soured on that movie.
Every time I think about the menu, it makes me more upset. Well, anyways, it's a 1 out of 5. Anyways, continue.
yeah, and again with Hamnet, the Jesse Buckley like winning thing, like because like like for the same reasons I don't think Wicked's gonna win picture. I don't think Ariva will win actress. It's just you know perform actors in those movies don't typically win. Um, and Seyfried, I had it number one for a while, as you guys know, but Testament of Ann Lee, I'm really it really seems like I kind of put too much stock in that movie. Um, because that's also not in New York. And that is all it is also weird to not be in New York because Brady Corbet and Motive Festival were there last year for The Brutalist, and
Well,
it doesn't feel as buzzy. It just doesn't really feel as buzzy. So, I don't know, maybe it's not quite as good.
one thing I'm a little worried about is that I just watched her because I had been a Brady fan for a while. Like I love Vox Lux. I know you're not on into that, George, but I decided to check out Mona Fastbolt's last movie, The World to Come, and I thought it was pretty bad. So I don't know. I'm still really excited, and I think this could be great, but she does have a very different style than Brady, and um I feel like we're just kind of expecting something similar to The Brutalist when it could be something completely different.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's kind of the problem there. And so at this point, you really just have to kind of wonder, like, yeah, maybe Buckley was the one all along that's like the winner here. And
And
hey,
and
yeah,
Buckley feels like someone who's going to win an Oscar pretty soon.
yeah,
it could be this year. And honestly, at this point, you have to kind of wonder, like, is Paul Mescal like gonna get nominated too for playing Shakespeare? They talk about building the Globe theater. Feels like a production design nomination. Cinematography, that's Lucas Jal, who shot Cold War, and Ida got nominated for both of those. Came close to getting nominated for Zone of Interest. Should have been nominated for the Zone of Interest. Kind of crazy that he wasn't. Um, you know, but yeah, um, yeah. I have completely flipped. I am now thinking Hamnet is going to be the one instead of Begonia, and I have made that switch. I have Begonia out and Hamnet in. So, I am if Begonia if it actually does end up being the other way around, I'll laugh, but I'll also feel stupid. So, um, double whammy. Uh, let's talk about one battle after another though, because Brett was talking about like adapted winners.
yeah,
I think I listen. Here's the thing. Let me tell you about one battle after another. I know. I understand. I understand that people are concerned with this movie because it's like what, $150 million budget, and it looks like it's not going to make it back. Here's the thing, and let me actually double check this really quickly. Hold on a second. So the domestic box office gross for Killers of the Flower Moon was $68 million. It's not amazing. It wouldn't be what one battle after another needs. Uh, although it did make 158 million worldwide. And look, that is a film. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. It's Martin Scorsese. It's not a subject matter that typically would get Oscar or a box office traction today, but that's a lot of money for what it is. Let's just say that it's a lot of money for what it is,
yeah.
and it's Leonardo DiCaprio, just like. That's what time in Hollywood is, and he is still the biggest movie star in the world, aside from maybe Tom Cruise. So you put those together, and then people worry, oh, but what if it's Inherent Vice? Because it's the same author as Inherent Vice. What Paul Thomas Anderson is doing, as I understand it, is he is taking an approach to this material that is going to be more like There Will Be Blood in the sense that There Will Be Blood was not a direct adaptation of Upton Sinclair's Oil. And this is not a direct adaptation of Vineland by Thomas Pynchon. It's much more broad, it's much more loose in what it's doing. So, for that reason, I think it could be more along that trajectory, and it could be more enjoyable. I do also want to point this out. This is a little bit anecdotal, but on Reddit, I saw somebody comment about how they went through a lot of people who saw various movies at test screenings who put the film on their ranked list in a similar way that, Jake Alda Coffee did. And um they kind of averaged it out. One battle after another had an average ranking of two, number two on
Yeah.
the list for all the lists that included it. That's it. Now that's anecdotal. It's anecdotal evidence, but it does lead me to think that it could still have audience appeal in a way that is meaningful. And for that reason, I think it is, still very much in the hunt for a, like being a big player in picture. And gets if it gets really good critical reception, and I have no reason to believe it wouldn't be. Inherent Vice has like an 80 something on Metacritic still. Like it's like let me actually double check that because it's still like a good score
Yeah.
for um all the critics. Let's see. Yeah, 81. That's good. That's good. So,
I have
um,
it getting. I have one
yeah,
battle getting in.
like it just is good critical reception. Even if it doesn't do that well at the box office, that's critical and audience reception. It will be fine. Like people might say, "Oh, Babylon, Babylon, Babylon." Babylon had bad buzz. It did not have good reviews. Okay, it was highly underrated by critics, in my opinion. Babylon's great. All right, Babylon's almost a masterpiece, but um, it did not get great critical reception. I don't see a reason one battle after another would not. And if it's a more loose adaptation than this, it could be like, people say, oh, it's the lower half of PT's filmography. Paul Thomas Anderson is one of the most beloved filmmakers of all time at this point. He like what at this point, like being in the lower half of his filmography would be in the top half of most people's filmographies. Okay?
Sure.
This man gets glazed by every cinephile on planet Earth. And I'm, of course, obviously, I'm one of them. But like, and let's also think about the fact this man is 11, going 0 for 11 in Oscar nominations right now. 11 nominations, no wins. What more perfect opportunity is there than right now to give this man an Academy Award than in the adapted screenplay category this year?
We said
Even
that
if
about Licorice Pizza though. Like that was so barren
Kenneth
too, and
Branagh,
it.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but also like Licorice Pizza kind of had that weird backlash, which I
Yeah.
guess we could have too, but I don't know.
If even if Bugonia is good and gets in, if it's a bottom five player, are you giving Will Tracy an Academy Award over Paul Thomas Anderson? Are you gonna do
No.
that? Are you gonna give Chloe Zhao a screenplay Oscar after she already won a directing Oscar, by the way, over Paul Thomas Anderson? I don't, what, you know, and same thing for Del Toro. Like, what, Scott Cooper? Like,
That
like it's a joke. It's a
this
joke.
could be PTA's Black Klansman. Because I feel like Black
Yeah.
Klansman wasn't really in the hunt to win Best Picture, but it was like, no, you know what? Let's give Spike an Oscar. Let's get him
I
screenplay.
think it also is similar in the sense that, like, people would think, okay, well, Spike deserves the Best Picture Oscar. He deserves the Best Director Oscar, and he's getting a screenplay Oscar. That seems a little bit weird to me, but he is winning one, so, you know, it's fine. That would be a similar thing with Paul Thomas Anderson. You would think, man, he really needs a directing Oscar, but he's
Yeah.
getting a screenplay one, so it's like, okay, there you go. It doesn't happen with every filmmaker. Obviously, Nolan, you know, did director and not screenplay. Sean Baker won fucking everything. Uh, hmm, Bong Joon-ho, Del Toro, like, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Uh, and yet, I think I think that is just it's just a prime opportunity to make that happen this year. And there's still a pretty open spot in Best Director that I think he could take. You know, just throwing that out there as well. Although I guess we do need to talk about it was just an accident in that regard.
I don't have it in.
And listen, I'm not going to say no outright. I'm not going to say no outright. And the reason I'm not going to say no outright is because I understand the reasons to predict it. It won the Palm. Panahi is a legend. I think there's a case for it. Here's the problem. You're going to be banking on either this movie getting into Best Picture off of just a director nomination, or it's also going to take out one of the original screenplays, which right now that category is super fucking tight between Sinners, Sentimental Value, Rental Family, Jay Kelly, and Marty Supreme. Now, if Marty Supreme or Jay Kelly or Rental Family were going to fall off because Sinners and Sentimental Value are, you know, not going anywhere, then okay, you could put It Was Just an Accident in, and then you could put Panahi in Best Director. Uh, because the thing is, this movie it could be submitted by France for international. It very likely won't. It's likely they will instead go with Nouvelle Vague, which I still feel a little bit weird about because Linklater's American. So, but you know, hey, you know, whatever. Um, and Luxembourg, it's a little bit sketchy as to whether or not they can submit it. And obviously,
Wait,
Iran, pff, forget it. There no
look,
fucking way Iran is submitting it.
we
Um,
thought Luxembourg might do All We Imagine Is Light last year, and they
that was a
didn't.
similar situation where it was very sketchy as to whether or not they actually would have been able to submit it.
Yeah.
France could have, and it was on their short list, but obviously had to go with a bad movie instead of a really good one. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the situation it is, and like the thing is like we just talked about All We Imagine Is Light. That was my number two movie of last year. It really should have been nominated for like 10 categories, and like Pyle Capote should have won. I would have given Pyle Capote Best Director. All right. If it had won the
Over
Palme d'Or,
Brady.
would people have predicted it to be nominated for Best Picture? Or would it have been nominated for Best Picture? To be honest with you, I don't know. I think probably not, even still. If It Was Just an Accident had won the Palme d'Or, had not won the Palme d'Or, excuse me. Nobody would be predicting it. I do kind of feel like that is the case. But maybe the Palm now is a little bit like TIFF People's Choice. Ironic because Life of Chuck just won, and that's gonna, be buried. Uh, I will flex that though. That prediction though. But
It could still have a comeback.
no, no, no. If the Palme d'Or is just the new TIFF People's Choice and that it's kind of a kingmaker, then okay, it was just actually could happen. I would need to see this film basically just like get the Golden Globe drama nomination and director nomination and like screenplay maybe, and then that would make me go, okay, there's a case. BAFTA is not going to help us because BAFTA nominations are now coming out after the Oscar nominations because they hate us, evidently. And that's not going to help. We're like it's just going to be hard to tell with this movie. And yeah, I think there's a case there's maybe a case for it, but yeah. I think you kind of have to consider that. I just don't really think it's going to happen. I think it's screenplay's too tight. I think director's a bit too tight. Like, and it's obviously not getting Lone Picture. So I think it probably just won't go that way. But we have to keep it in mind. Um, let's see what else do we got. Avatar seems possible.
Yeah,
I think I'm a little bit
I
on
think
the
that will probably happen actually. Well, no, probably happen. I have it like 11 or 10. Like
it's
here's here's
like yeah.
here's my thing about Avatar because the last time we talked on this podcast, I'm pretty sure I was like, guys, it's not gonna happen this year. We're not gonna nominate an Avatar movie every single time. You know what I mean? Like I think I was there. Here's where it kind of shifted a little bit. Before Fantastic Four, they played the trailer, right? And there was this exciting buzz in the theater for that trailer. And I realized that, man, this movie does still like garner a lot of enthusiasm with its audience.
It captivates people.
As it captivates people, like they're locked into it.
Yeah, the people who say it has no cultural impact are just copy.
Yes,
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it definitely
Like
does.
like
I do.
like I'm not I
This is
think I think the Avatar movies are like slightly overrated, the first one in particular, but if you have to be blind and deaf to not think it's a cultural fucking
and this is
phenomenon.
also me who said that the first one, like I thought the first one was a flash in the pan thing. I really did. I was like, cool 3D technology, kind of a weird gimmick. This thing isn't going to go anywhere. And then they built the Disney section, and I went, oh my gosh, wait a minute, like this is different.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I
but
think James Cameron's like the director and a lot of people. Like a Spielberg, he's just you hear his name and you'll see anything he does. And I
Yeah,
feel like
people know him. Is the thing.
yeah.
but um, here's the thing about the new movie. From the trailer, and maybe this is me being naive and just buying in the hype. Seeing that trailer, I'm like, this looks like the best one. I think this looks like the most profound one, the most emotional one. This even looks like, and for me, something that I thought was really interesting about it is that what 3 minute operatic trailer has zero people in it. I'm pretty sure it's all Navi, it's all Avatar, and a part of me is thinking that they're just going to dodge the human stuff entirely, except for the kid that's with them. Like that's a
Right.
human or in the second movie. And I'm like, this movie's straight up going to be an animated movie at a certain point, like, which is
I
crazy to think
mean,
about.
it sort of already is teetering on that, but yeah.
Yeah. And so a part of me is like, if they're able to create this entire world this well, and captivate people this much.
Yeah.
And I don't, here's the thing. Here's the biggest component of the whole thing. Why on earth would we not think it's going to get nominated for Best Picture if it ends up being the best movie in the franchise when the other two did?
I think, yeah, that's the thing about it, and it is coming out at the same time nominations are happening.
Yeah.
I think really the only thing that's like kind of keeping it out for a lot of people right now is like picture's kind of crowded. That's the only real
Yeah.
thing.
And
That
also because
that's
let's be real, Avatar 2 was a 9 or 10 slot. It
yeah,
was.
yeah.
And
Um,
also 20th Century have Deliver Me From
Springsteen.
Nowhere. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and the other big
So
thing about it is the time between Avatar 1 and 2 was like 15 years. People were so curious about what this movie was
yeah.
for over a decade, and we don't have that time gap anymore. So I do think there are some hurdles.
Yeah, that's the thing about it is that like it's gonna teeter around like 8 to 13 throughout the entire year. Like it's not fucking down at 20. Like I've seen some people on Awards Expert with the new post feature do. It's like, oh, this is not happening. No, stop, stop. Having it that low is cope. All right,
Yeah,
it's cope. It can still get in. It can also not if like they like other films better. And it's not going to stop the movie from winning visual effects. That's happening. Okay. It's not going to stop the movie from getting sound or production design. It could get cinematography. I don't think it's going to get any more than 5 nominations, but the thing about it is it doesn't have to.
yeah.
It can just kind of coast its ass in there. And that could be it. And they didn't nominate every Star Wars movie. I understand that. And maybe this one could miss. Maybe the fourth one misses, and then maybe the fifth one is where it's like, okay, this is real Return of the King shit.
Yeah.
But you have to it it's just not like I don't think it's guaranteed one way or the other, right? Like it's gonna oscillate in those, few spots. It's not going to leave. Well, it's not going to be low. It's never going to be, in my opinion, higher than 8 or lower than 13.
Yeah.
It just won't be. Um, but I think also it should be higher than. Well, actually, wait. It is higher. It's for 10 on the awards expert. I thought it was lower than After the Hunt for some reason. Uh, After the Hunt. I mean, look, I'm not gonna flex and say that I called it because I didn't. I didn't like I had it out of picture and I got yelled at, but it wasn't because I thought it was gonna be bad. I was just like, look, I just my main reasoning for it was like I can't predict Luca all the time. Like I can't like we have to stop predicting Luca at some point because homie is just not like that beloved by the Academy. Um
No, yeah, but he hasn't made movies that would appeal to the Academy. Like he made two horror movies and a
I
horny
I
Chinese
understand
movie for
that, right? But
kids.
like, yeah.
Like that's what we're talking. And an experimental surreal movie. Like he hasn't made a film that would have any broad appeal.
See, yeah,
Challengers obviously did, but it's not
I
for
understand
adults.
that,
Like it's
and after the hunt, it to be fair, did seem like it could be that film, and also to be fair, his next movie, Artificial, with Andrew Garfield, about Sam Altman, that could be that, and that one I'm a little bit more open to. But I'm just like, look, I'm not going to predict Luca to get a Best Picture nomination until it looks like it's actually about to happen at this point. Because people tried it with challengers, with queer, uh, and it's just like it's not going to happen until it happens. Is kind of how I feel at this point.
it it
It's
would
not going to happen until it happens.
it's definitely gonna happen again because I think Luca is a name at this point. Like he's a huge filmmaker. And he's definitely he's not concerned with the Oscars, I don't think. He just makes whatever he wants.
That's the thing about
But
it, yeah. But then
but
again, a lot of people who've won Oscars are not concerned with them.
exactly.
That was my
I
reasoning for
do
not predicting After the Hunt.
I do think it's
I
bizarre
did
that it's
not
predictable.
think it would be bad.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we don't know if it's bad, but it's almost looking that way. Or at the very
No.
least, it's looking like it might not be amazing.
I think its promotional marketing material is not very good, but that's not usually an indication of the movie's quality. That's just
Wait,
It,
Amazon being stupid.
do you guys not
yeah,
think that that was a great? Because to me, that was maybe the best trailer this entire award season so
I
far.
think the trailer is fine. I don't have an issue with it.
It's a good trailer. The
Uh,
poster's awful. I mean,
the
it's
Yeah,
post,
I
yeah, the
agree.
poster's giving the
but
sun. So bad.
yeah, but
Um,
but
yeah,
that's not. Some of my favorite movies of all time have like terrible posters. That's not an
yeah.
indication of
I mean, I
what.
wasn't that crazy about Nora's first poster, right? So like,
Yeah,
it's fine.
the art of the movie posters is
The
dying. That's a whole other
this,
conversation.
yeah. The thing about it, about like with After the Hunt though, it threw people off that it's out of competition at Venice. To be fair, Luca and Amazon said, "Hey, we don't want to be in competition." I don't know why that's the case. I can't explain that to you, but that is what happened. And Martin Scorsese said the same thing for Killers of the Flower Moon. It's fine. Whatever. I don't care about that. But it's playing early enough in the festival to where it could go to Telluride, and it's not a Telluride. It's also not a TIFF. It's going straight to New York opening night. That's kind of weird.
Very weird.
Now, to be fair, as Matt of Fantasy Film Ball pointed out, Amazon does not normally that has never sent Luca Guadagnino's MGM movies to TIFF. Uh, so Challengers. I mean, Challengers came out too early for it to go, and Suspiria didn't go. But it could have. It doesn't explain why it's not Telluride. Oh yeah, and Bones and all didn't go to TIFF, but that doesn't explain why it's not Telluride. And because Bones and all went to Telluride, Suspiria went to Telluride. Why the fuck is it not a Telluride? It's a festival omission that is weird in the same way that, Bugonia not being a NIF is weird. So I don't know what that means. Maybe it's divisive in some way. I can't explain it to you. I can't really explain it to you. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I definitely think like Avatar should be over that. And then going down the list from there, we talked about Anli a little bit. No Other Choice is a God, man. I This is probably it's between this and Marty Supreme for my number one most anticipated movie of the year. This they released there was a Korean trailer that got released yesterday, I think. My God, this movie, like I need it. I need it. I need this damn movie. Okay? My life depends on it. I need this damn movie to be good. Park, the WGA situation is very messy right now, but he's my goat, all right? He's one of my goats, all right? I need this movie to be good. And it part of me is starting to believe it might actually be the real thing, the real deal, but I get trauma from Decision to Leave, being, washed out of international, and I get scared. Yeah. Hmm. I I think it's also a little bit concerning that Neon would be it's either its second contender or its third contender behind Sentimental Value, and maybe it was just an accident. So that also worries me. However, if it is the real deal, then obviously it becomes number two. And in that case, there's a scenario where Neon could legitimately get both of them nominated, but I'm still a little bit weary about that. Uh, and who knows, maybe that would be a scenario where like if one battle after another isn't that big of a contender, maybe this is the adapted screenplay winner, and you give Park an award. But that the jury's still out on that one, so you know that could be we'll have to see about that one. And then, but that one's also playing early enough in Venice where it could go to Telluride, and it's not Telluride. It's a gala presentation at TIFF, and then it's going to New York after that. So you never know. I mean, if it wanted to go online, that's a compelling case, but yeah. And then there's also the Smashing Machine, the other Safdie brother, uh, with piss bottles himself, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Uh, Again, I just like oh God, do people really take? Are people really going to take? Like the trailer. It looks more of an Oscar bait film than the test screenings let on. Is The Rock like really going to like convince people that he's like capable of like prestige acting?
I I'm gonna be honest, I thought he like was incredible in the trailer. Like I'm
He's
convinced already.
okay. He's okay.
No, no, he's definitely more than okay. Like I the just the way he was delivering the lines with such earnestness, I've never seen him do anything like that before. And I
Earnestness. Oh
think
my
this
God.
is it's just like there's a real I don't know. Like usually when The Rock is on screen in these blockbusters, he's like loud and big, and there's a real quietness to this performance, I think, and gentleness that I'm really interested in. Like I think this could be an amazing performance, and I think this could end up being a Best Picture contender. Like I right now it's like my 10 or 11, but I really think catches on and it's a big deal, Emily Blunt could win and I think The Rock could win. This could
So
be a
on
massive.
Emily Blunt, I have to be honest, Tristan, I agree with you.
Yes.
I think if the movie is picture adjacent and she does just enough, and she's not put into lead because there are rumors that she could go lead, then yeah, she can win. Like you can't
Yeah,
like it's not uncommon for wives in sports movies to like contend that much in that category. As far as
she's
The
a
Rock though, I have the
yeah.
same apprehension towards that idea as I do with Adam Sandler in supporting actor. I just don't think people take him seriously enough to give him an acting Oscar.
But did people take Brendan Fraser seriously? I mean, before The
That's a
Whale,
fair point, but his biggest competition was Austin Butler, and Elvis crashed out on Oscar night.
true. I mean, he had Colin Farrell.
Colin
That was
Farrell was never that in contention to win. Let's be fucking honest.
No, he should have.
I don't know. I don't know. Didn't Colin Farrell win the Globe and the BAFTA?
No, Austin Butler won a BAFTA.
Oh, he just won the Globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know then. Probably not that in contention.
Yeah, I really don't think he was. I think honestly, and The Rock has bigger competition this time because he's going up against Frazier again, number one. But the only way I think that would happen is if Rental Family like was like going to sweep Best Picture. Um, Jeremy Allen White in theory, and then obviously as we discussed before, Timmy and Clooney. Um, so uh, like the competition is steeper than it is in supporting actress and that's why like Emily Blunt could win because I mean, we didn't talk about this with Wicked. I really don't think Ariana Grande is winning. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the stans who might be listening to this. Um, Prepare to get disappointed again. I don't think the sentimental value ladies are winning, either Inga or Elle Fanning. Uh, and like, like there just isn't really a good option. And so Blunt could rise out of that and just win if it's good enough.
Yeah,
But
she's got the narrative. She's a big actress. She now is a previous nominee,
yeah,
and
so what Tristan
she's
is
gonna have a
saying makes
ton.
sense when you look at it
Yeah,
from in that way. Again, I just think that Marty Supreme is gonna be the bigger play. And A24 probably knows this or sees it at least. And the reason that Mari isn't at the festivals right now is it just wasn't ready. And they're gonna surprise screen it in New York, and then that's gonna blow the roof off. And Smashing Machine probably like won't be quite the same way.
Wh- whereas I think it's a strategic decision. I think they're really wanting to separate these two movies because they want them both to have room to breathe.
Uh, but yeah, that's Smashing Machine and no other choice for you.
Wait, what do you
Now
mean?
there's
No, they're
there's some other things on here like I don't know. I don't think like Splitsville is number 20 on Awards Expert. What? Where the fuck did
maybe
this come from? Are you kidding me?
maybe like indie spirits or something.
Maybe, yeah, but like, why is it not number 20 picture? I don't get it. Secret Agent, no. Stop. Life of Chuck, no. Called that one. Flex, give me your apology forms. If I Alexa kick you, it's not happening for picture. Although actress is possible now. Actress is more possible than I initially gave it credit for.
Yeah, I think that's happening.
F1, no. Yeah. I guess the only ones left worth talking about are the last two Netflix ones, Ballad of a Small Player and House of Dynamite. Guys, I gotta tell you, I did not like the Ballad of a Small Player trailer, and apparently I'm fucking alone in that
Yeah.
because yeah, apparently like Reddit was glazing it, and a lot of other people were like, "Oh wow, it looks really good." I think it looks like Michael Mann trying to make a Gaspar Noé movie, and it just
What?
does it.
That doesn't
Yeah,
make any
it,
sense.
it looks like a diet version of both of them.
It
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like it's fucking Michael Mann style, like nighttime cinematography and daytime cinematography too. And then some of the camera movements look like they came right out of Irreversible. Like, yeah,
what?
yeah.
I think it's gonna be like completely different from Gaspar Noé. I think it looks yeah, I get the Michael Mann comparison. I think it's probably going to be less action packed than a lot of Michael Mann movies. Like it does feel like it's going to be more focused on this character's like internal struggles and being a gambling addict and that sort of thing. And there's apparently a ghost or paranormal component to the
But
film.
that's another thing too. It looks like straight All of Us Strangers.
I I don't see that either. I think it's way flashier than because All of Us Strangers is like very
Wha-
subtle.
Oh my
This is
God.
really in your face.
I
It's
mean,
the cameras there's like
the camera
crazy
movements
edits.
in All of Us Strangers are not that subtle. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's a subtle movie. All of Us
Thematically,
Strangers?
sure, but not fucking like visually. Visually, it is
No,
very like visually. There's fucking like zooms on like Andrew Scott's fucking mouth, brother. Like, what the hell is
sure.
going on?
Sure, but it's not like this is hyper stylized, this movie. Like it looks so clean and like the like very stylized, I would say.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, it looks like Michael, like Ozempic Michael Mann is trying to make a fucking Gaspar Noé movie.
and I think it looks like an Edward Berger movie. I think he has his own
An
style at
Edward
this
Berger
point.
movie. Tr-
Why are people refusing to
Bro, okay, I
acknowledge that
like
Edward
Conclave. Do
Berger
you really think that? you would watch that movie and go, "Oh, that's an Edward Berger movie." Like, no.
I would say that's an Edward Berger joint.
It
I think I think
God damn
Berger
it.
is one of the big auteurs right now. I really do.
Yeah, Tristan, you should go join your fucking like reverse Ozempic Pillsbury Doughboy friend in fucking hell right now.
I will. I will join
I'm
him.
referring to the
Salt
fucking like fat
Salt
white
Baby.
pale ass white man in Parts by the way.
Dude, that I literally like was so touched
For
by that
people who
scene.
don't know what I'm talking
It
about.
I love that scene so much in Parthenope. The best movie of the
God.
year.
Ugh, God.
Better
I
than
think you're
Sinners and
drunk.
Sentimental
I think
Value.
you're drunk.
Tristan,
No.
that is the most random movie for you to stand.
Seriously, I don't understand it.
It's just like it's literally if you were just like American Pastoral, it's a 5 out of 5.
That's true. Dude, you gotta
God.
see it. It's so good.
You don't need to see it. I don't recommend you watch it.
Wait, did you not like it at all, George? Isn't it
I gave it a one
like
and a half out of five.
what?
Yeah.
Wait, did you find it like just too all over the place?
It's dull, dude. But like it's fucking
What?
it's boring. It's boring. I mean it number one, it's kind of creepy because Sorrentino just thinks this actress is hot and just,
Uh,
wants to make a movie about her and has no story. Um,
that's not true. It has such a compelling story.
no, not really. But like it just like it goes nowhere, brother. Like what the fuck is going on?
It's I mean, it's not as basic as me having Superman as my number one of the year.
Yeah. Um, okay. House of Dynamite. The other one, Catherine Bigelow's new film. Uh, Venice, New York. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is the only Netflix movie that we don't have a trailer for right now. And I just like, why haven't we heard more about it up to this
What about
point, is my
what
question.
about K-pop Demon Hunters? Do you think that's gonna get nominated?
Okay, so do we need to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters? Not for Best Picture. I'm not like there's no way in hell that's getting a Best Picture nomination. But
The narrative is really interesting for it. It's not gonna get nominated for Best Picture, but
it's
if
just
Best
like
Animated Feature, it might win now.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
And
thing because
I
like
I think
yeah.
Golden's getting song as well. A
I just like
nomination.
okay, for me personally, I don't care for the movie that much. I think it's fine.
I agree.
Same.
Um but you'd have to be blind and deaf to not see the phenomenon this movie has become.
Golden is on the
And
radio now.
I've never like seen anything like it. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, look, I'm gonna the thing is, and like I saw someone on Awards going to say they're gonna say so they're gonna say it's a movie for toddlers, it's a movie for toddlers. If it were a movie that was only made for that only appeals like little kids, it would not have caught on in the same way as
Nope.
it did. Okay, you could say, oh well, like I understand that there's some really kiddie shows that are popular with adults for some reason, like fucking Bluey, but this is not the same thing as
No,
Bluey.
but Bluey's a
Okay,
masterpiece.
okay.
Wait,
I'm not commenting on Bluey specifically. I've never watched any episode of it. I don't care about it. Okay,
do
People seem really good.
I'm saying it's not the same thing as Bluey. All
are
right,
people saying this is like just a kids movie?
not
Because
everybody.
it's not
Not
for like
everybody.
little kids.
Someone on awards expert said that, and that was like, bro, this is ridiculous.
No, like all my friends are
Like
obsessed with the movie and talk about it
there's people
24/7.
who in our fucking Instagram chat who love this movie. There's like over half of the Billboard top 10 is songs from this movie. Okay?
Yeah.
It is locked for a best animated feature nomination. I'm sorry. It's locked. It is locked. And it could
I
win.
would say it will win. I mean, the only thing that might happen is it might miss in the way like the Lego movie did. You know, like they do weird stuff like that sometimes in
I
animated specifically, but I wouldn't bet on
well,
it.
they changed the voting now to where everyone is able to opt in and vote.
Okay.
And yeah, uh, I think that's less likely to happen. I don't think the Lego Movie would have been snubbed in that situation. But back to to the point about Dynamite. Why haven't we heard about more about it now? Is my question. You know, why don't we have a trailer? Why don't we have more than two fucking images? You know, and it's about to premiere in like not even like 2 weeks. Also, premieres on Tuesday at Venice. Guess what else premiered on Tuesday at Venice? The Sun, Queer, movies that did not go over very well. Uh, Joker did not go over that well. Priscilla got good reviews, but it's still, it wasn't like a Golden Lion contender.
Yeah, but that's such a good movie.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a great movie. I
it's
think
very good.
actually I think House of Dynamite will get similar reviews to Priscilla. Obviously they're two very different movies, but I think
You
people are
mean
gonna
like
really like
similar
it.
scores?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I
That
don't think
that
it's an
that's a
Oscar
little bit
contender.
plausible. I kind of just think it's gonna be received similarly to like Detroit.
I think it'll
Or
be
or
better. Sorry.
or maybe it'll be received similarly to Clown in a Cornfield.
You know that has like a 76 on Rotten Tomatoes, so wouldn't be that surprising. Um,
Yeah.
I, I
Exactly.
I'm like really excited for this movie now because I watched a Catherine Bigelow movie recently and I thought it was amazing.
I yeah, we'll get into my thoughts on her Oscar films another time.
Uh,
Propaganda. But yeah,
the the one that I saw was Strange Days and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. It's
uh
it's very different than her Oscar stuff.
yeah, anyway, it's just like yeah, I mean I don't want to just sit here and repeat again like, oh well, we'll see what happens when it comes out, blah 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 and stuff or when it premieres and but that's all that's the only thing you really can say to be honest about most of these movies, right? So and then you go down the list and it's just like, okay, Wizard of the Kremlin, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Uh Anemone. Yeah. Okay. Is this thing on? Which I mean that is closing night at New York Film Festival. Not
I
like an
don't think
amazing.
I don't think it's impossible for that to become a thing. Also, I think I've been waiting for Will Arnett to get a type of Oscar role ever since the BoJack Horseman run was so good. This could be the time that he starts. I will say, as someone who is a Lego Masters fan, he is not hosting the next season of Lego Masters because of this Oscar run. So I don't know, maybe.
I think it runs into the same problem as other original contenders and that category is just too much.
Well, I'm not talking about original script. I'm talking about actor, which is also too much. But like,
Oh, actor. Yeah, actor is also too much because like, you
but the
know,
thing is, like, we know Will Arnett could do an Oscar-worthy performance. He might just knock it down the park. I
well,
just
yeah, because I mean, even if you take out best actor out of it and you go down to yeah, actor. I mean, there's Plemons, there's DiCaprio, Michael Jordan. I'm gonna be real. I don't think any actors and sinners are getting nominated, but maybe that's a hot take at this point.
I
Piss
I think
bottles, Dwayne,
I think
Daniel
if
Day-Lewis,
your movie is getting nominated for picture and is the biggest front runner,
Colin
random acting
Farrell.
nominees are going to come along with it. It always happens. It's like the everything ever all at once effect, where we got more people than we
That
thought would
that
be.
that was those performances were
Um,
much more like traditionally showy though.
and um in Honora last year, even with the surprise Zero, towards the end, where we didn't necessarily think
He
about
had
it.
the ending, so it was
Yeah, but
that was a different thing.
I'm saying that like if you have a movie that like is a big front runner movie, usually performances come along with it that you don't really expect at first. I
Sure. That
I
doesn't
think
mean like fucking Haley Steinfeld's getting nominated though.
no, I don't think so. I think B Jordan's like 5 or 6 for me right now. I
I
think
have
he
him at
might,
7. I don't think it's happening, but
but I think he's
whatever.
a placeholder at 5. I think Delroy Lindo's like a 2 or a 3. I think that's happening.
No, I
I think
disagree.
that might be the only one that does happen, but I think that's happening.
No, we'll talk about that a different time. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like anyway, like you got you got Plemons, DiCaprio, Michael B. Jordan, Daniel Day-Lewis, Piss Bottles, Conver like Wagner Moura too. Like I don't think that's happening, but whatever. You
But
know, on the
none of those
list.
are, in my opinion, none of those are a lock for 5. I think you have a solid 4, and then number 5 is like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like I don't know. Will Arnett would have to climb over a lot of people. This is the problem here. And then there's Oscar Isaac for Frankenstein too. You gotta consider him a little bit.
Oh yeah, I might put him in for 5, honestly, right now.
And oh yeah, we can delete Rivals of Messiah King from everything. That's not fucking happening.
Is that not even coming out this year now?
I think it's highly unlikely that it comes out this year. Like, yeah. Anyway, I think that does it. Uh, we hope you enjoyed our company. You didn't, but we hope you enjoyed it anyway.
Do you
Uh,
like the coffee you're drinking right now? Does it got cream and sugar in it? What
it's
flavor?
1:30 in the morning for me, so I'll process the video, do a little bit of editing, get it uploaded before Wednesday when Venice starts with yet another Paulo Sorrentino film. Hopefully this one is actually decent. Um, but yeah, thank you everybody for, checking us out and
Apparently,
tell you what you can, you know,
Tristan apparently has a Pablo Sorrentino poster in his room now, right?
uh hmm.
Oh,
Well, I
Whoa.
don't know. Uh
Sorry, I ended up falling asleep for like 2 seconds.
ooh.
um I don't know what else to end it with, so I'll just play this clip of I'll insert into the video a clip of Michael Brooks's right-wing Nelson Mandela impression. So thank you, good night.
Sam, I am troubled by a lack of seriousness in the GOP field that I see.
Really?
All of these candidates are true patriots who clearly would like to save America from the destructive liberal socialist tendencies of President Obama. However, I see a lack of seriousness when it comes to foreign policy and family values that is lacking in the field.
Really? What is it that you feel is lacking specifically?
I think, as I say, a measure of seriousness when it came to foreign policy and a willingness to confront the Islamic threat. See, many people don't recognize, Sam, that there is evil in the world.
No, I think people, yeah, I think that's probably
And I think
true.
if you look at my
You don't think that the
unique
Republican
experience set and skills that I bring to the table, as I
So wait a
continue,
second. Are you suggesting that you,
I know that-
right-wing Nelson Mandela, are going to run for the Republican primary nomination?
I know that liberal hosts like to interrupt and be disrespectful, and I will be painted into a corner. Comments I made about Buju Banton being correct about gay people will be distorted. All sorts of things will come my way. But I have received a message from God saying that I must run.
So God
So
is
it is today that I am announcing later that I will formally create an exploratory committee to see if a run could be what this country needs to save it from creeping socialism. An
Wow.
open border and terrorists at our front door who do no longer believe in American strength.
It is. Breaking news. Right-wing Nelson Mandela has announced that later today he will announce that he's going to announce an exploratory committee.
An exploratory, that is correct. God has told me to feel out the waters.
How do you feel about Rick Santorum running for president? I mean, he's the guy who brought you into
All
the
right,
spotlight.
let's take a break. Let me go. Let me pick up a phone call here. Hold on. We'll get back to Nelson Mandela. We already did
This is
the
too much
breaking
fun.
news.
With regard to my dear friend Rick Santorum, whom I like and respect, I will say this, that my private income, and I have been very blessed in that regard by God, my own work ethic as a job creator and private citizen, I never made money as a lobbyist. And Rick Santorum, who frankly has a very undistinguished record in the Senate, spent years lobbying, and I don't know what his positions were in the 80s. Frankly, I was fighting against the feminist agenda in South Africa. I was fighting to maintain traditional marriage against everyone from gays to Zulus. I don't know what Rick Santorum was doing. When I was on Robben Island,
What is? Is this just
Say-
for the Foster Freeze primary? I mean, why are you going after Rick Santorum? It's like, I understand he coined right-wing Mandela,
there
but I
was
mean,
no
even still,
coining.
it's like I don't know, shooting at the elephant and aiming for the tail.
well, first of all, let me say this. I respect Foster Freeze tremendously as a job creator.
Horse Zachary, Tom in Wisconsin.